and the place where Michelle Carter got her start. I'm in Red Oak, Texas, a suburb of Dallas and a family-friendly place. She put in a lot of long, hard days and hours here, which ultimately helped propel her to the highest athletic stage. I had the privilege of sitting down and getting her story. She's had quite the journey. Hello everyone, I'm Erica Bennett. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of my Behind the Star blog. I am so honored to come back home to the DFW area to talk to the one and only Michelle Carter. Not only is she a phenomenal athlete, she is a diva, she is doing a lot in her community, she is inspiring folks everywhere. Let's jump right into it. First of all, Michelle, thank you so much for joining us. You are a busy lady and I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
How does it feel, and I don't know how often you get back here to Red Oak, but how does it feel to be back in your old neck of the woods and stomping ground?
It always feels good to come home, and it's changed so much since I graduated, so it's always cool to come back and see all the changes and how much the school has grown.
Let's talk about shot put. Getting into it at a young age, obviously you did extremely well at the school, won state many times. Talk about you getting into the sport. Of course, we know your dad led the way, he did it, but you talk about you getting involved.
Well, believe it or not, I just decided to try shot put on my own. I didn't even know my dad did the shot put until after I started doing it. Because I grew up with my dad playing football, so I had no idea. So when I came home one day, I was like, hey Dad, I want to do the shot put. He was like, who told you? Like, what they say, how they ask you, like which coach asked you? Because he knew at that time that I had no idea what he accomplished, and he didn't want nobody to push me into something that he did. He wanted to be my own choice.
And that's the next question. This is actually a question from my dad, and this is probably something we've discussed in our household. Yeah. Did you ever feel like there was pressure to, reach his level or make him proud in that regard, to knowing that he excelled at such a high level?
Yeah. No, my dad made sure that if we were going to do this, that we wanted to do it because we wanted to do it. And he never held his accomplishments over our head. His main thing was to tell us, like, if you're going to do this, at least get your school paid for. And that was the goal. Like, I didn't really think about life after college when I was younger. I was like, well, I got to go to school for free. Well, let me go ahead and do this so I can get my scholarship and go on about my way. And then seeing what I can do past that didn't show up till like after I graduated from college.
What was it like having him coach you? Did y'all butt heads at all? Or is it like,
goodness.
Hey, we got to do what we got to do and just figure out a way to survive and not kill each other? How was that?
It was good. I mean, we had our days because, my daddy gets on my nerves sometimes, but I love him. But yeah, it was hard because he's my dad. And to look at him any other way is hard. It's like, okay, he would say, like, well, I'm your coach. Look at me as your coach. I'm like, but what I'm supposed to call you, like, Coach Daddy?
Right.
And so that's what I call him. I call him Coach Daddy. Like, that's my little joke. But it's hard to separate the two because I know at the end of the day, he only wants what's best for me. And he would push me to my limits because he can see some things in me when I was younger that I couldn't see. But over time, we found a healthy balance to where we can get along and we can go home and we're fine.
Looking back at it, do you appreciate those hard days and the extra pushes?
Oh yeah, I do, because if I wasn't pushed and put in certain situations at practice, I probably wouldn't be able to handle them as well when I get into competitions.
Let's talk college. Talk about your success there. Talk about what your days were at UT.
Well, yes, I am a Lady Longhorn, hook 'em horns, and I enjoyed my time there. I've been pushed the most physically in college, where I was doing my workouts as a thrower, but then also I was on the track doing sprinters workouts. I ran an open 400 one time at practice. I was the alternate for the 4x1 and the 4x4, so if anything was to happen to anybody else, I was the next person in line. I would come out the blocks. I did all the bounding and lifting weights, and we had 2-mile time trials. Like, I did all that stuff. So in college, I definitely was able to push my body to the limit and also be successful with, we had 2 national team championships, and one of those championships, we had 7 people. When normally people who win national championships may have like at least 15 to 20 people on a team, and we won nationals with 7 people. So our coach definitely pushed us past what we thought we could do, and we were able to do so much more.
Okay.
Because Also with that, I'm gonna do the camp that morning, and I think right after I'm gonna do like some throwing stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because at first what I was gonna do, I was just gonna do it later in the day, and then I could just do throwing the next day. But if I move it to the morning, then I can do that and I'm done.
Okay, great. Just let me know the hours you want and what you want to do, and we will make it happen.
Okay. I'm excited
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I'm going to be
excited.
on the news like Saturday morning, so I want to be able to say the date.
Okay, so you're going to be on the news this Saturday morning?
Yes.
All right, I will tell them I need to know today. I will email them as soon as I get back in the office. Okay. All right.
The barbed wire cut my thumb. And I was like, I was bleeding so bad. And I was like, my dad is going to kill me. And so I went to the trainers, and they like fixed it all up, and I ended up having to go see if I need stitches or not. But because he closed it up so well with the little tape sutures, that I didn't have to have stitches. So my dad was so mad at me.
I love them athletic trainers, boys. I want to save it.
I was like, listen, you have to make this like it's brand new, and I'm gonna go to practice anyways. And when I come up there, my hands all bandaged up, and that's like, what happened? Nothing, don't worry about it, let's practice. He's like, no, what happened?
Can't hide stuff from dad
And he
or
was
coach
so
daddy.
mad.
Are there things that you have to like say no to, obviously, to think about your regimen and your training? If you're like, dang, I really want to go have that to eat, or I really want to go, you know, hang out here today, but I got to get up and go to practice. You see that a lot?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
part of life.
It is part of my life. Especially the older you get, you know, your body changes. And
aware.
so now I really have to pay close attention with my diet. And along with, I have a couple of health issues. I have hypothyroidism. So with that, I really have to monitor what I eat, because my body don't process food the same anymore. So
I hate when people try to make it
it's
narrow
a hard
down.
one. I know.
Yeah, it's
I
tough.
do enjoy Paris because I have spent a lot of time there, so I can get around Paris pretty easy. But my favorite place is Monaco.
Really?
Yeah.
Why Monaco?
Because it makes you feel like you're not in real life. Because it has that old classic feel, and you have all these expensive cars and all this stuff that's there that you don't see every day.
Yeah. Look it up.
Yeah.
Look it up. Okay, so when did you back in the day?
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, 1976, Louise Ritter in high jump.
That's the road return.
Yep.
Very cool.
Not too many high schools have 2 gold medalists.
Yeah, I was about to say, I never heard of that. That's rare.
It is rare.
You're going down in history book, girl. Well, it's cool because you're well-rounded, you're cool, you're down to earth. You know how some, I mean, I'm sure you've heard it, but yeah, some people really do. They get to just acting crazy. Can't talk to them. They looking crazy.
Yeah, well,
Mean acting, you know.
so yeah, so they did clean it up. It's really nice. So this is where I would practice.
A lot of time spent here, huh?
Yes. I have my little, like back then before we had like iPods and stuff, you know, you had those little travel radios, and you had to have all the batteries in it. Take like 8 to 10 batteries. I'll set my radio up and I'll be out here practicing. So this is
What gets you kind of like in the moment, in the mood, in the go time mindset?
For me, just I'm relaxed and chill in the beginning. So I play like my R&B music for the most part in the beginning, but then as I get closer to practice, or depending on how I feel that day too, I'll like turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, I have to have quiet and music and chill too. I have to be very stress-free, you know, I have to have my head clear.
Because if I'm like already crunk before it even started, I'm gonna be tired by the time I start. So I kind of like chill out and then rev up as the time goes on.
Ultimate goal. I know you said get your school paid for, succeeded. How far did you want to go? When did you say, okay, I'm not stopping until?
I've never said I'm not stopping until. I always say, well, let's see what else we can do. And I guess it's not until recently I ever thought about, okay, like how much longer I'm going to do this. But at first, like when I first made my first international team, I was in 10th grade. And all I could think about was, so y'all gonna fly me overseas, give me some free clothes and uniforms, and I don't have to pay for it? So in my mind, I was like, I want to collect all the uniforms I can collect. when I was younger, then it turned into, okay, like, oh, so I can do the thing and get paid now? Oh, okay, let's see what we can do with that. And that's kind of how I always looked at it. I'm like, let's see what all I can do, because I still believe I still have so much more to give. And so I'm not really thinking about the end or when I'm going to stop. I kind of gave myself a date, like maybe 2021 would be the last year, but I won't know until I get there.
And that's hard to say. Once you taste that excellence in the highest level, it's hard. It's hard to walk away. Talk about balancing, you know, personal life. Obviously, you were introduced and kind of hit the platform very early in your life and had to travel and do all that. Talk about balancing, you know, personal life, you know, love life, family, with all of that. It had to be a lot.
It's a lot, and you have to kind of make decisions, and you have to make decisions that's going to be the best for you at the end of the day. And then during that process, you kind of get to weed out and shift out who's really your friends and who's really on your team or not, because your friends are going to support your dreams and your goals no matter what, and they're going to try to get in where they fit in. But at the same time, if I'm their friend back, I do have to make sure that I set aside time to spend time with them when I can. And so when I can't make birthday parties, or, you know, I have a lot of godchildren, and if I can't be there for one of their events, they understand, because they know I'm pretty busy, but they know when I can be there, I'm there. And that kind of just helps, knowing that I have some good friends and understand what I do and can work with my schedule. But I lost a lot of friends, and you get your feelings hurt, and even sometimes when your family don't support you the way that you want to be supported, and, you know, that's okay. But at the end of the day, I still had to move forward, and I couldn't let those things hold me back, because I didn't want to have to blame somebody else for something that I didn't do.
And you know what they say, when you get to the top, your circle starts getting smaller, don't it?
Yes.
Those start disappearing left and right.
My mom always said it's lonely getting to the top, but when you get to the top, everybody's going to be there.
Absolutely.
And that's true, because the minute you win, everybody's like, oh, girl, what's up?
I
knew you could do it. But when I didn't want to do all the other stuff, like, you kind of had an attitude with me when we couldn't hang out, or I couldn't make this event. Like, I didn't even know we was really friends like that till now. Like, what's going on?
It's tough.
But it was worth it.
2016, Rio de Janeiro.
Yes.
Girl, gold, doing it. Black girl magic. Talk about your quest to get there, what it felt like leading up to it, and then actually winning that medal.
Man, actually 2016, I couldn't even write the script for 2016, because in my mind I thought I had the script. The year started off awesome with World Indoor Championships and me winning there and winning by a huge indoor PR, and I'm thinking, like, this is my year, everything's gonna go perfect and this is gonna be awesome. But then 2 weeks after like one of my greatest meets ever, I woke up with some back pain to find out that I had a bulging disc in my back. And then shortly after that, I caught a really bad cold, like with some upper respiratory issues, and I had a really bad cough, so my disc went from bulging to herniating. And I'm thinking, like, come on now, like, this is the Olympic year, like, this happens now. And at that moment, I was really discouraged at first, because I'm like, come on, like, this is what I've been waiting for. This is all I ever wanted. And then now I'm hurt. Like, how can I come back from that? But then I kind of remembered, you know, that at the end of the day, my life really isn't in my hands, that I knew that God had my back. So I definitely had to activate my faith in a way that I never had before. And God definitely saw me through that hard time.
Was that one of your strongest challenges?
Oh yeah. Because in the last few years, I've been dealing with health issues and injury after injury after injury, and no one really knows what's going on. You don't really just want to air out, oh, I'm hurt, woe is me. Like, that's not me. And I had to really push through those times, you know, with either by myself or with a small group of people, and just kind of move forward. But just looking back, it was all worth it. I wouldn't trade how anything went last year for that moment.
Take us into that last throw. When in your head did you say, look, I'm getting close, this could happen?
Yeah, because pretty much the whole competition, I was in second place. And I just went through my mind like, hey, Michelle, like, second place, we know we're going to walk away with something. But then I had to be honest with myself, like, I don't want silver. Like I'm here, I want gold. This is what I worked for. This is what I've been saying all these years, and I just need to go for it. So I said a quick prayer, like, Lord, like, hey, you told me I could win. So if you ain't gonna pull through for me today, this is the moment I need you to pull through for me. And I said, I'm gonna give it 100%. I'm not gonna leave anything behind. I'm just gonna give it my all. So when I walked in that ring and I threw, I realized, like, wait a minute, that felt good. Like, but from my understanding, I can't see how far it really is. But then when the mark went up and I saw that I had moved into first place, and I was like, wait a minute, time out. Like, well, how far did I throw? And I was just thinking to myself, like, oh my goodness. But I had to wait for the girl who had won 2 times before me throw her last throw.
From New Zealand.
Yes.
It was a whirlwind. I remember seeing a picture of you with the American flag right behind you. I remember I posted it on Instagram. We were all going just crazy. How did it feel to set a record, be the first black one? I mean, American, like, did you take all of that in? Did you realize, like, the magnitude, or did it take you a while when you came back, like,
well, in that moment, I was just like, hey, I won. That's it.
Right, let's get
that's
that out
all
the
I
way.
can handle. I won. But then now, especially in the last few months, when I'm going to these schools and I'm talking to these kids, or I'm going to different events, and now realizing that I'm the first American woman to ever win gold for America in my event, and knowing that I've thrown the furthest than any American woman have, and just kind of going back, and when kids are doing projects on you for Black History Month, you know, like, that stuff makes it like, is that me? And so having those moments, I can look back like, wow, like, I have accomplished a lot. And not just for myself, but for countless of people around the world.
grew up in the same church, Oakland Bible Fellowship.
Yes.
Faith was a very big part of my life and what I do in my career. Talk about how faith shaped you and helped you in those hard moments.
Man, it's funny because growing up in church, like, you're taught to have faith and walk in faith and believe that God has your back. But then when I was really faced in one of my hardest moments, especially in 2016, and I'm like, what does walking in faith really looks like? Like, how do you really walk in faith? How can you, because it said faith without works is dead, then what's my works to believe that God told me that I could be the Olympic gold medalist? And so just kind of going back and studying the word and listening to sermons, like, God just told me, like, hey, like, I could do anything. And I'm like, you know what, God, you're right. Like, you are a limitless God. Like, there's no limits on you. If anybody put limits on you, I'm putting limits on what you can do in my life. And so in that moment when I was struggling with, like, why me, God? Like, why I have to get injured right now? I just pray, like, hey, Lord, if you're the God that you say you are, and your word is true, like how you say it's true, then I believe if I never touch a shot put from this day to the Olympic trials, that I can make the Olympic team. And then if I never touch a shot put from the Olympic trials until the Olympic Games, then I can still win, because that's the kind of God you are. And so, and then, like, in between there, I figure, I say, well, I'm not going to lay here and let God just, you know, let him do all the work. Like, I have to give him something to work with. So that's when I started to do the little things and going to all my treatments and going to all my workouts, and then even making up stuff to do just to kind of supplement for the things that I couldn't do, because I'm like, Lord, listen, like, if anybody can make nothing into something, it's you.
Okay.
And so I'm going to give you what I can give you so you have something to work with. So, you know, this is not all in vain.
Absolutely, and I believe that is exactly why we're here. I try to use that platform in every single thing that I do, every interview. It's all about the glory in that platform, and you are using yours well. Last couple of quick points. Talk about Shot Diva, that name.
Yes.
Because you have a lot of interests outside of shot put. I mean, you love makeup, you love so many other things. Talk about kind of keeping that balance, because some people might think, oh, you know, shot put, you gotta lift weights, you gotta do all this stuff. You can still keep your feminine qualities and still do you and be fabulous. Talk about that, and opening the door for girls who may not have thought about that sport before.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, I'm a woman, and I want to feel girly. I want to, you know, be cute and sexy and all that kind of stuff. And me being an athlete doesn't take away from that. But I think that the general public has an idea, a way about how athletes are supposed to look. Like, you got to be rough and tough to be taken seriously. But I'm like, listen, like, I'm a girl. Like, what is some lashes and some lipstick gonna hurt? You know, if I'm in the ring throwing. So I've always carried that with me, where I will do my makeup. I wear my lashes, I wear lipstick, I get my hair done, I get my nails done. I care about how I look, because this is my job. And when people are out there taking pictures of me at work, I want to look good. And so I carry that with me, because I feel like I shouldn't have to separate the two. I shouldn't have to be less feminine to be considered, or to be considered great. You can have both. And I think that now I realize that I get messages from people like, man, I wish I would have known I could do that and still throw the shot put. Well, I didn't think the shot put was really something that girls could really do. Or I even get messages from grown women like, I should have stuck with it. But I didn't think it was, you know, it wasn't cute, so I didn't stick with it. And you hear that all the time, and that's sad. Or people think about somebody who throws a shot put, they think you're supposed to look like somebody named Helga or something. Like, I've gotten that many a times, but I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm a girl, I'm a woman, and I want to be cute in everything that I do.
Absolutely. So finishing up, what's next for Michelle Carter? I know you have your initiative, You Throw Girl, and you're doing so much with kids. I know that was part of, you know, your studies at UT. What's next for you, if what you're doing now and what you like to do?
Well, yeah, so actually I'm getting ready to launch my You Throw Girl Sports Confidence Camp, which is a camp for young female athletes just to encourage them to be the best that they can be and how to balance their femininity with their athletics, and knowing that you don't have to separate the two to be great, that you can have it both ways. And just to educate them and build them up so they can be the best athletes they can be. And also I'm working on a makeup line, so I'm excited about that. I'm taking my time with that because I really want that to be done right. So I'm excited about that. And I really enjoy speaking and encouraging people all over. And that's been going really great too. So I've been having a good time.
Awesome. Can we expect to see you again, another Olympic run?
Yeah, I'm not finished yet. I believe I have one more in me. I'm not too old just yet.
No,
but
girl, we're the same age. You are nowhere
Okay.
near old. You are nowhere near old.
So yeah, I'm going to go for one more.
And how can people keep in touch with you or keep up with your journey? How can they follow you?
Yeah, so on Instagram is Shot Diva, Twitter is Shot Diva, and my website is shotdiva.com, SHOTDIVA, and you can find all the information there.
We're rooting for our hometown girl. You have just watched Behind the Star with Erica Bennett and our Olympian, Michelle Carter. Make sure you follow the website behindthestar.wordpress.com, and you can also keep up with me on Twitter at Erica A.N. Jax and Instagram at Erica Bennett.